I call Meka Terry 5 minutes.
Kia ora, Mr Speaker, tēnā tātou katoa. Mr Speaker, food safety lies at the heart of the New Zealand primary export sector and thus the nation's economic fortunes. The purpose of this bill is to improve the interface of the regulatory processes across food sectors, as well as maintain New Zealand's reputation as a producer and exporter of safe and suitable food. Mr Speaker, I join with all members of this House in supporting the third reading of this important bill. It is both timely, it is both needed, and it does ensure that New Zealand's food standards are brought into the 21st century. Mr Speaker, I'm not a member of the Select Committee. I've only just recently joined it, but my contribution on the passage of this third bill is to acknowledge the historic context of this bill, and others have mentioned it. It's been 10 years in the making. Labor first supported the first reading 4 years ago. I heard mention of Honourable Annette King and Kate Wilkinson. So obviously it's been an important issue, not just for this House, but for the nation, to ensure that our food safety standards and our reputation internationally is protected, and definitely this bill does those things. Therefore, Mr Speaker, I do commend the Minister, Nikki Kay, for bringing this passage this bill through today, and of course all members of the Select Committee. Mr Speaker, I'm not too sure whether you shop in your house, but when I go shopping for my household, I'm really interested in not just the nutritional value of food that I shop for in terms of energy and calories and proteins, but one thing that I really do look for is the origin of the product that I'm purchasing or about to purchase, and that's one of the fundamental things I believe as consumers of this country that we should do. We should actually know where food comes from. And more and more New Zealanders and Kiwis are very discerning around what they're putting in their bodies, and particularly as mothers. Particularly important to me is what I'm feeding to my 2 teenage sons, although they're monsters, so they'll pretty much eat everything. But there are a lot of families out there, Mr Speaker, that do have those issues of ensuring that we know where our food comes from. So I join with the Honourable Damien O'Connor here, who has obviously put up SOPs and debated quite regularly in the Select Committee for country of origin labelling, Mr Speaker, and I too heard the word. One of the reasons why we didn't address it in the Select Committee was because of the complexity to it, and for me, Kiwis are quite, the ingenious Kiwis. We never give up, we never concede, and we never take a backward step. And if we're thrown with a challenge of it being complex or too hard, that sort of Kiwi spirit gets into us, and we work doubly hard to get over it. So for me, Mr Speaker, that remark that a speaker supporting this bill said in the House made me think around the days that we always fought for things that were in our best interests, and I join with, particularly with members on this side, ensuring that we did lose an opportunity of not having a country of origin labelling. But I too believe, Mr Speaker, that when voters go to the polls in September and you have a Labour-led government, that's definitely one of the areas in this food safety bill that we will address to ensure that all consumers in this country can assure themselves that they know where the products that they're purchasing come from. Thank you.
I call Mojo Mathis.
Thank you.